It was a beautiful early spring morning, and I had just come home from the grocery store, and I was peeling a tangerine, and then I saw the light streaming through one of our living room windows across a wood table, and I got inspired. So I gathered a few old antique art books that I have in our library. I quickly arranged those books on the table, and then I started taking a lot of photographs. Taking photos allows me to quickly capture the moment without overthinking it. I tried to take enough shots to give me the variety I need to complete the composition in Photoshop. This photo was perfect as the base for the composition, but the books are too deep in shadow. So I took a photo with better lighting and added it to my base photo, and with a little masking and some minor adjustments, I got the details that I really needed. Because luminance is a major theme of this painting, I wanted to add an element of contrasting light and dark to the lower right area. I used a single backlit tangerine segment and placed it where I wanted it. I think that the segment helps add both balance and flow to the overall composition. I use a harmonic armature for two purposes. The first is to check my compositions, and the second is as a drawing guide to transfer my compositions onto canvas. So what is a harmonic armature? A harmonic armature is a simple grid of lines that can be applied to any rectangle. The major intersections relate to pleasing harmonic divisions: 1/3, 1/4, 1/2. And it also has lines that correspond to some very visually pleasing diagonal structures. In Photoshop, I place a harmonic armature grid on a new layer above my composition. With the armature in place, I check the structure of the composition. I first look at how the composition is arranged in horizontal thirds. I feel good about how these elements of the top and bottom thirds are stable and calm, and how the diagonal thrust of the middle third both contrasts and links the top and bottom thirds. I also like the strong triangular structure that tends to give it a look-at-me authority and a sense of solidity and weight. The strong diagonals from the lower left to the upper right give the composition a sense of energy. The strong diagonals in the opposite direction give the composition energy also. Here, the tips of the tangerine segments are aligned with the most brightly lit portion of the peel. That connection is subtle, but it's important. Although it's not part of the harmonic grid, I'm pleased with the serpentine movement of edges in the composition. It creates interest and draws the eye to different areas of the painting. In all of my paintings, I want to give the eye moments of interest and moments of rest. One other thing to note. In my still life paintings, I often use a point of view where the objects are slightly below eye level. I do this to convey a sense of intimacy and as an offering of these simple gifts to the viewer. Well, I'm happy with this composition, and I'm ready to draw it on the canvas. I use a pencil and a ruler and a kneaded eraser for making both the armature and drawing. I first draw lines connecting the corners. These lines intersect in the center of the canvas. I then make marks at the center of the top and bottom and side edges and connect them with vertical and horizontal lines. Here's where the fun starts, connecting all of the ends of the lines that I've just drawn. I also draw some vertical and horizontal lines connecting where some of the armature lines intersect. Now I'm ready to start drawing. My goal is to make an accurate drawing without extreme detail. I make marks that indicate darker areas without concentrating on careful shading. The drawing, for the most part, will be covered during the first phase of blocking in the values when I start the painting. In part 2, I'll show you the actual painting process, show you some of my materials, my brushwork, and dive deeper into what I'm looking for and what I'm thinking as I paint a luminous still life. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I urge you to click that subscribe button and select notifications so you don't miss any of the videos in this series.